Hey there, folks. I am the Mighty Plantain, and thanks for checking out this beer review. I got something interesting this time. This is Rogue's Cold Brew IPA. Revolutionary blend. Rogue Revolutionary blend. Dare Wrist. Right. Anyway, I've had a couple of cold brew coffee beers before. It's becoming, as cold brew coffee is becoming a thing, the cold brew coffee beers are becoming a thing too. It's porters and stouts usually that I'm used to seeing. Actually, I think the one was a lager. But usually they're pairing with the darker beers or the beers that the coffee flavor is going to overwhelm. I got to admit, I'm a little intrigued by a coffee and IPA together because they're both two different types of bitterness. That coffee, caffeine, roasted bean bitterness, and hoppy bitterness. I don't really know how the two are going to mix, but Rogue's one of those breweries that does dare a little bit, and they're not going to put something out there that doesn't work, at least on some levels. So it should be good, but I have to admit I'm a little skeptical and a little worried about how this is going to taste. But let's check it out and see where this goes. Cold Brew Coffee IPA. Well, it's definitely got some color to it. It's like a blend between a coffee and an IPA. It's got that nice dark roasty coffee darkness. That's a little bit overuse of the word dark there, but also, if you kind of imagine dumping a cup of coffee into a bottle of IPA, that's about the color I would expect to get. It's actually got a really nice tea color to it. Slightly cloudy, not very effervescent. A few bubbles coming up there, although I was able to put a good head on it without too much effort. It's just not replenishing really well because there's not a lot of bubbles coming up from the bottom. Now I'm actually getting up front a soapy aroma, and that's the floral notes of the hops coming through. What I've found in my particular experience. Because again, everybody's taste and sense of smell is a little bit different. What I've noticed is when I get a soapy smell, it's either because the bottle wasn't cleaned thoroughly, in the case of some beers, and that happens very rarely, or it's because I'm really picking up on the floral notes in the hops. But then I'm getting that up front, and then it's followed by the nice roasty coffee aroma. But the coffee aroma is more subtle, but it's still there. There's a nice medium mouthfeel on that. Very interesting. What I'm getting up front is a nice big mouthful of hops. The floral's there, but for me, I usually pick up on pine and citrus more heavily than anything else, and I'm getting the pine followed by the floral, but then it fades to this really roasty coffee bitterness, and it's weird because you would think that the flavors would interfere with each other, but one follows the other, and it doesn't overwhelm the palate. It's a smooth transition. So I'm getting the mouthful of hops, and then as it rolls off the tongue, when you swallow it, you're getting that coffee bitterness, and then somehow they're coming together in the aftertaste and the finish, and just giving me this weird combination of hoppy and coffee bitterness. It's hard to describe. I gotta say that. I mean, it's It's pine and slight citrus, pine and floral, maybe some earthy notes combining with the roasted bitterness of the coffee beans. But it really is. It's like drinking a nice IPA that finishes as a cold brewed coffee. And again, I would have expected the flavors to interfere with each other. Instead, one's following the other very smoothly. It's a nice, even transition without any overlap, and it's very impressive. Um, I got to rate this with a full 5 out of 5. It's unique, it's different, it's not anything that I was expecting, and not anything that I've experienced anywhere else. It's really standing out, and it's got that wow factor that I look for in a full 5 out of 5 beer. I am very much impressed and blown away. I was not expecting such a smooth transition from one type of flavor to the other. I was expecting this big mix up, which was just going to be a disaster for my taste buds, but somehow one flavor flowed into the other, and it's a nice combination and transition between the two. They are distinctly different. There's the IPA as you drink it, and it finishes as a cold brew coffee. I don't know how they did it, but I'm impressed. But that's just what I think about this beer. If you've had it, hit me up down in the comments, the email link down below. I'd like to know what you have to say about it. While you're down there, make sure to like and share and subscribe. That way, you get the word out, increase the popularity of the channel, get me some more attention, because I crave the attention. It's the only reason I'm doing it, and you know that. Until next time, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.